Kakastart pa lang ng 2023 pero halos araw-araw nating naririnig ang salitang inflation. Pero ano nga ba yun? Tanungin natin yung expert, ChatGPT. Okay, so now that we have a basic understanding of inflation, how do we fight it? The government's number one solution? By raising interest rates. Kapag tumataas ang interest rates, ang tendency ng mga tao ay to save more and to reduce their expenses. If only a single household does this, syempre wala masyadong epekto sa bansa. Negligible yung effect. But if enough people cut back on their spending, this can have a cooling effect on consumer prices. Unti-unti bababa ulit ang presyo ng mga bilihin, which means bababa ang inflation. Okay, so we talked about inflation, we talked about how the government is trying to fight it. So now, you might be asking, paano tayo maapektuhan bilang retail investor sa stock market? E di pag-usapan natin. First on the list are banks. As interest rates rise, the financial sector benefits from increased profit margins. According to Sir Fritz Ocampo,
we're still facing higher interest rates at least until the first half of 2023.
Which is tama siya sa prediction na to.
And then, usually there will be a pause for 3 to 6 months before a reversal of cutting interest rates will happen.
Thank you po kay Miss Salve Duplito for doing the interview with Sir Fritz kasi ang dami ko natutunan doon. Ang dami niyang na-share na insights about the potential recovery of the market. First lesson, banks tend to benefit from increasing interest rates because it lets them earn more from the money they lend out. Yung mga pinangutang nila. When interest rates are higher, banks can charge borrowers more for loans, which increases the bank's profits. Additionally, higher interest rates can attract more customers to open more accounts because of higher savings rates, which allows the bank to use those savings to create more loans for other customers. Pero hindi lahat good news for banks kasi potentially yung other retail customers baka ma-discourage sila sa pag-open, pag-apply ng bagong loan kasi nga mataas na yung interest rates. So in summary, banks. Panalo kung investor ka, pero kung consumer ka tas may loan ka sa kanila, medyo tagilid. Hindi lang sa Pinas, kundi sa buong mundo na experience yung tinatawag nila na revenge spending. Because of the relaxation of COVID restrictions, the economy experienced a surge before 2022 ended. Pero sabi ng ibang researchers, they doubt that it will continue this year. That's because the consumer industry does not typically benefit from rising interest rates. In fact, higher interest rates can have the opposite effect. It could lead to decreased consumer spending. Yung surge last quarter was maybe a one-off thing kasi kating-kati yung mga Pilipino kasi hindi tayo masyado nakalabas, gastos, nakakain during the COVID years. So kung may stocks ka like QRC or RRHI, maging cautiously optimistic. Okay, so we talked about revenge spending. Now let's talk about revenge traveling. As vaccination rates increase and restrictions are lifted, Filipinos start traveling again. But we are not only talking about land travel kasi people are looking to make up for lost time during the pandemic. Kung hindi man ikaw, yung mga friends mo, maraming na-cancel, maraming na-rebook na flights. So I think yung reopening of the economy, not just the Philippine economy, but also the nearby countries, it will be a catalyst for the resurgence of the travel and the airline industry. For your research, dalawa lang naman yung airline stocks, PAL and SEB. Overall, while it may take some time for the airline and the travel industry to recover, I believe there is a reason to be optimistic about this reopening story. In general, the stock market is in an inverse correlation with the interest rates. Pag tumaas ang interest rates, bababa yung stock market in general and vice versa. Although unique ang mga broker companies or brokerages. Brokerages? Kasi tumaas man na bumaba ang stock market, at the end of the day, kikita sila kasi may trading activity pa rin. Example number 1, yung stock price ng Call Financial. Pansin naman ata ng lahat na sobrang dami ng new stock market investors during the start of 2020. So yun yung naging catalyst for the bull run of Call. COL stock price was gradually decreasing, pero I'm not here to tell you whether it's already priced right or not. But what I can tell you is COL may not be the only brokerage listed in the PSE in a few months. GCash and AB Capital will be launching a new service, a new mobile platform for trading stocks.
Teka, di ba may mobile app naman yung ibang brokers?
Well, tama naman. Pero excited ako dito because of fractional shares. Plus, and I can be wrong in this, ang first impression ko dito is it will be like the Robinhood app in the US. So bakit good news? Well, more retail investors means more liquidity in the market. Win-win. Para sa akin talaga, this initiative by AB Capital and GCash will be a major disruption to how we buy and sell stocks. Make sure to subscribe kasi I will definitely make a review of the app once it launches to the public. The reopening of the economy plus sustained recovery, they both bring good news to companies like ports and construction companies like ICT, Wilcon, and Megawide. Itong 2-year-long bull run ni ICT, it proves that they are well diversified, they are insulated, they have a moat against challenges brought by the pandemic and international wars. Just in the third quarter of 2022, the profit grew by 43% due to organic sources of revenue. To clarify, organic sources of revenue are fees and services, tapos inorganic means acquisition of other companies. It's up to you now to research kung may ibubuga pa itong ICT. On the construction space naman, look at this graph. Interesting lang that the highest and lowest unemployment rates in the Philippines occurred within 3 years of each other. June 2020, 17.6%, November 2022, 4.2%. Ibig sabihin ba lahat na natanggal sa trabaho nung start ng pandemic ay nakakuha na ulit ng trabaho? I don't have the answer to that. Pero ultimately, you can interpret this in two ways. The optimistic way is, okay, good job. Construction sites are active again, which means I can throw my money at any construction stock and I will get rich for sure. Or the pessimistic way. Okay, so 4.2 na lang ang unemployed. That means 95.8% are already employed. Paano mag-e-expand ng construction companies kung wala ng construction workers? Matatayin ka na lang yung building. The real estate market is segmented. Ano ibig sabihin nun? That means merong loser, merong winner, at iba-iba yung degree kung paano sila manalo at paano sila matalo. Unang-una, malls, residential, and office spaces will experience growth in the coming months. But don't listen to me. Let's listen to the real estate experts. According to Lichu Property Consultants, the demand for office and residential spaces grew in 2022, and this growth is expected to continue despite the flattening of rental rates due to rising interest rates. Meron akong dalawang stock na i-recommend para sa inyo na research. SMPH saka Ali. Again, research muna, hindi to buy recommendation. These two companies experienced a 38% and a 52% profit surge last year. But of course, it's not always rainbows and butterflies if you look beyond the headlines. Kasi as pointed out by Mercado Barkada, kahit na nagkaroon ng 52% surge in profit si Ayala Land last year, that value is still 44% lower than before the pandemic started. The lesson here is, don't just read the headlines. Instead, Dior. So yan ang industries saka stocks na pwede nyo i-research for 2023. If you wanna see the breakdown of my passive income from 2022, check it out.